All right.
As children, we're taught not to take candy from strangers, to wash our hands after we go to the restroom, to not play with fire, and that sharing is caring. The idea of sharing and not being selfish is so widespread in our culture that mostly everyone shares something. When my friends have food and I'm hungry, I always use the phrase, sharing is caring. Or if my friend just bought a new dress and I like it, and I'm going to a party on Friday night, I might say, hey, sharing is caring. My friends and I share everything. Now we share hepatitis and HIV. This is a quote from the Montana Meth Project. It is seen on various commercials and billboards throughout Montana. You might ask yourself, why is she talking about Montana? We're in California. Well, according to the White House drug policy, meth is the primary drug threat in California, and I think it's time to do something about it. The National Survey on Drug Use and Health reported that California, like Montana, is one of the top 10 states to have a high number of meth usage among people aged 12 and older. Can you imagine using a drug such as meth in 6th grade and becoming an addict? I can't. Coming up with the money for this addiction would not be easy. I mean, a person in their 20s can barely come off with the money. Can you imagine being in 6th grade and having to compile all of your birthday money and Christmas and maybe possibly stealing? That's quite a scary experience, and even scarier are the commercials that are the commercials used by the Montana Meth Project in order to prevent drug use statewide. I remember seeing one of their commercials on MTV once, and it was horrific. I was even traumatized. It depicted a teenage girl hanging out with her girlfriends in her room, which she so happened to share with her little sister, and they start snorting coke. Then she's shown a meth pipe, and she looks at it, and she says, I'm only going to try meth once. As the commercial goes on, her little sister's in the background watching it all go down, and then she continues to say, I'm going to smoke this just once. She says, I'm going to sleep with him for meth just once. I'm going to steal just once. Towards the end of the commercial, after the girl has slept with him for meth just once, she's passed out on her bed with her new meth face, covered in open sores, crusty lips, and bloodshot red eyes. Her little sister's at the end of the bed, and she goes into her sister's purse, and she grabs a little baggie of meth and says, I'm only going to try it just once. The look in her eyes has resonated with me through the years, and even more the bigger picture. I have a little sister, she's 10 years old, and it broke my heart to see the effects that this drug could have on myself and my family, especially my little sister. Believe it or not, the Montana Meth Project, a statewide program to prevent the usage of meth, has had outstanding results of success. Since the launch of the Montana Meth Project in the year 2005, meth use has definitely declined among teenagers by 63%, and its use among adults has declined by 72%. More states have followed Montana in launching their own meth projects to fight this drug war, such as Arizona, Colorado, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, and Wyoming. I think that a California meth project would not only aid in decreasing the number of people in general using meth in our state, but also to inform us on this serious issue. As of now, the closest thing the state of California has to the Montana Meth Project to reach young adults is the DARE program, which stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. So I'm sure most of you guys have seen this bracelet. I've had this since I was in elementary school, and from what I can remember of the DARE program, I was just told that alcohol and marijuana were bad for you. And if someone ever tried to offer me some, to just say no. I also remember being in skits with classmates and my teacher, and how unrealistic they were. You know, because I'd definitely be walking in the middle of the darkest alley in town, by myself, in the middle of the night, and a creepy old man was just going to walk by me and say, hey, you want to try some meth? I know if I were an addict, I definitely would not give up my high that easily, and definitely not for free. I'm not sure about you, but I haven't heard of an addict who's willing to do that. As the statistics from the National Survey on Drug Use and Health shows, methamphetamine use is a statewide problem, and I think that it should be added to the DARE elementary school curriculum. Not that alcohol and marijuana are not a problem, but apparently meth is an even bigger one. While speaking to my little sister, she advised me that she was told the same thing I was, to just say no, and that alcohol and marijuana were bad for you. She was also taught that energy drinks have alcohol in them. This kind of blew me off because she saw me drink a Monster energy drink once, and now she thinks that I'm getting drunk. And I don't know about you, but that's definitely not something I want my little sister thinking of me. Misleading lectures such as that one are definitely not aiding the problem. I don't know about you, but I definitely would not mind volunteering and going to speak to children at elementary schools and let them know the real truth. Having watched numerous documentaries on drugs, I feel I'm adequately informed to do so. While visiting DARE's website, I read the whole section on meth, and it had very efficient information, simple enough to tell kids in elementary school. According to DARE, meth has become the most dangerous drug problem of small-town America. Simple information such as that could be crucial in preventing meth use among teens, and if a California meth project was created, I think that a collaboration with DARE could also make a big impact on our state. The fact that this problem is so widespread causes room for thoughts on what's currently being done by the state to prevent it, and there is one major thing being done. Just as one can grow their own marijuana, one can create their own meth. Some of the key ingredients needed can be bought over the counter, and those are ephedrine, pseudoephedrine, and phenylpropanolamine. The Combat Methamphetamine Epidemic Act of 2005, which was signed into law on March of 2006, affects those selling products which contain these chemicals and also those who are buying them. This act limits sales to 7.5 grams per customer during a 1-month period. This also asks that those selling must keep these locked up and not in the reach of any customer who is walking into the store. This does help in one way or another. I say that because there's some fault to it. If I were to be a meth cook, I could go to a CVS pharmacy in Fullerton, purchase one of these medicines that contains ephedrine in it, and then drive so many miles to the next city and go to Walmart into their pharmacy and purchase the same product, and no one would ever know. I've exposed you to some statistics on the growing meth problem and the war on drugs that we currently face in our state, and what would be right for us as a society. I don't know about you, but I like to share. What I like to share is a whole different story, and I know that a life-threatening disease is not something I would like my best friend to share with me. If you have not seen a Montana Meth Project commercial, I advise you to take 30 seconds out of your day, which is the length of most of these commercials, go on YouTube and look the Montana Meth Project up. Watch a video and share it with a friend. An action taking up to 30 seconds of your day is not asking too much. And by word of mouth, even you can put your 2 cents into the prevention of meth usage. Now knowledge, that is something I would encourage you to share, because remember, sharing is caring.
Amy, what did you think?
She had a good intro. Well, her sensory grammar was good, but I didn't really hear a thesis or a preview to her speech. But overall, as she went on, she had really good evidence and statistics and citing her sources. She had really good eye contact with everyone. Her conclusion was good, but I just was a little bit confused in the beginning as to what she was going to talk about. But I got it towards the end more through her conclusion.
Okay. All right, well, I thought the story worked well at the beginning. I understand what the topic is, but your goal needs to be a little bit sharper, and I know what Amy's talking about on the preview. It's really not discernible. Internally, organization needs to be clearer as well. I thought you did a good job citing your material. You had a lot of information. You need to have some more practical evaluation of the DARE program and its lack of efficacy in regard to meth. You're relying on a personal experience, which is okay, but I think that you want to add a little bit more to that. You get a lot of emotional appeal from citation of the Montana PSAs on this particular issue, and they do create some good visualizations. vocal delivery is, it's clear, you project well, but sometimes it does come across like you are reading, and I think you do the same thing with your audience contact. You are frequently reading, although you do a pretty good job at reading effectively for an audience, but we want to get past that at this point. All right, thank you.